Welcome to the Trash Cats Trash Cast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
And I'm sure by the time that this episode is edited and put together and people are listening to it, that we've all just moved past the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, and we've all just learned to move on.
No, this is gonna
not be concerned.
This is gonna drag on for a while, dude.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. People are pissed.
It's so dumb. All right. Oh, God damn it! Why would that be your intro? Holy shit!
Yes, I thought it was really funny.
Before the mainstream picked up on Epstein stuff, and before Republicans became obsessed with it, I became obsessed with it. Okay, I spent way too much time going down all the rabbit holes. I saw the client list years before. The mega base was calling for it. Okay, it was probably fake because there's all kinds of fun fake shit online.
Yeah,
but it's really crazy, dumb, stupid how much of an unforced error this has been by Trump and the FBI, the Attorney General. They created a monster. They can't control their own people.
They really did,
and they're cannibalizing him. Over the dumbest shit possible.
The funny thing, so I don't know what compelled me to do this, but the other night I was like, I wonder what, everyone's saying, like all the MAGA bases, like they're really pissed and upset and
revolting.
I decided to go check Fox News YouTube comments, which, it's to take with a grain of salt anyways. But the first of all, Fox News at the time, it's like it was a week and a half after they were like, nope, there's no documents. And they didn't have any video on that. They only had one video. It was very short, and it was just like, yep, they said President Trump said that it's all Biden made them and Hillary Clinton made the list, and
so stupid.
So that's why they're not going to put anything out, because there's nothing to say. And then the entire comment section was, I voted for Trump and this is crazy. Like, you're losing all your followers. You need to release the documents.
And there is no client list to begin with. Yeah. It's series of investigations and lawsuits. It's like, and then on top of it, they put out the video of the jail cell. They say it's raw video. It's edited. Then they say the file exists.
Obviously
it doesn't
edited.
exist. Yeah, it's just so much bullshit, and it's all so stupid. And then Pam Bondi, the fucking guy, she says, "Hey, I know everyone wants us to make the Epstein file public, but the federal government would never release all this child porn to the public. How dare you?"
Of course. Yeah. That's not the part that people want, Pam.
Yeah, it's
fucking
so
Pamela,
crazy.
you dumb piece of shit.
It's so crazy. But here's where, and I will never say this, well, I guess it depends on the context. There is so much evidence that has been suppressed from years ago, from the first time he was convicted and let off by Costa or whatever the fuck, and during Trump's first term. And the FBI stuff when he was arrested, they have all these CDs of video evidence of the child sex abuse stuff, and most likely there are implications of people. But all these flight logs and, address lists and all this shit, like, they're just calling for it all to be released, and none of it's going to be definitive. The person that knows a lot of shit is Maxwell, and she's been begging the media and the public and the federal government to make a deal so she could potentially get out. She's willing to turn on people, and apparently her lawyer for years has claimed to have backed up hard drives that they would trade to the government for deals, and no one wants that shit to come out. So because the Trump administration keeps lying, their own people are pissed. But I will say the Charlie Kirks, like the leaders of MAGA, like Steve Bannon, Kirk, some of these people, they've allowed it to build up a little bit, but like Kirk yesterday said, hey, I trust the White House. I trust Trump.
Yeah.
We need to drop this. And I think eventually, I think it's going to divide MAGA. Half of them are going to still be pissed, but maybe not make a big deal.
They'll move over to Elon's party.
No shot. Elon's toasted, dude. He's done. He's done. He fucked up so bad. I don't know if he could ever make a comeback politically. In his business fields and stuff, he might do okay, but I think politically he is toxic. He's just nuclear waste.
I don't think that's ever stopped anyone before. That stops some people.
No.
You can't say it like that. There's enough people that wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I just don't think Elon is smart enough to be one of those people. But he's so fucking stupid, dude. Like he actually is a fake genius, and everyone just fell for him. Yeah, I just
he
can't
has money, so everyone around him's like, oh, he's sucking his dick about how smart he is.
Yep. Oh,
he
man.
founded Tesla. He fucking bought
mess.
Tesla. He bought the rights to be called the founder of Tesla.
He's done a lot of smart stuff, but he is not a smart person.
Yeah.
All right. Today isn't just politics. I do want to touch base on Alligator Alcatraz later, but
oh yeah.
Let's just kick it off. How was your week? How you doing? Any honorable mentions?
Week's doing good. I'm fully cured of all of my mental illnesses. My therapist has put me at once a month instead of twice a month, and I think that means that I'm healed and it's all good now. It won't ever be a problem ever again.
Here's the question, though. Weren't you like... We talked a little bit, but you were like feeling kind of pretty shitty like a month ago. Like, do you feel like
and then I had my therapist appointment, and then we decided I'm doing good.
Do you feel like you're doing good?
I feel like I'm doing good, actually.
Good.
My anxiety is like most of what I'm dealing with lately. I'm not really doing like depression in a serious way. It's mostly the anxiety that I've been dealing with. And I have like in our meetings, like we talk about it, but it's like I have the tools to deal with it and work through it. And, while sometimes it can get to be a decent amount, like I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do, to work through it, and it's working. It's just, turning that into a more, subconscious process rather than a conscious process every time, is the goal. But we're getting there. And, I put off 1 week just to, have time to do shit, on a certain day, though I couldn't have, done it otherwise if I had done therapy instead. And he was like, yeah, if you're cool with it and you seem to be doing just fine, we can always pick back up in the fall or something, when the depression season comes around, and I'm fully on board with that. He also, it's like if I need to, change it now, like he can pencil me in real quick. So.
Yeah. No, when we talk, it sounds good. That's awesome. The only thing, anytime someone says they're stepping things back, I always feel like a twinge, and it's not in a bad way. I just don't want people to ever feel like anxious that they can't return back to where they were.
Oh, yeah, no, I fully intend on, at least by, mid-fall or something, to go back to twice a month, if not sooner. So,
I don't think
in the meantime, but yeah, I 100% get what you're saying there.
Because I don't think I'm alone in this, but my experience has been with therapy, even when you're doing really good, if a therapist says like, hey, you don't need to come back, like this relationship's done, or you don't need to come back as often, as much of a vote of confidence that is, and how good of a sign, like there's always random backslides. And for me, and I think a lot of people feel this, I don't think I'm out too far on a limb, but there's like a weird interpersonal feeling of a like slight betrayal, even though you logically know that's like not what's happening at all. I don't know. For me, that was always a thing.
I fully get that. I understand that thought process too. I mean, part of it too for me is like, because I'm paying out of pocket. It's like financially, this is definitely a win too. And if I had qualms about it, I obviously like he left that open on purpose of like, you can return back 2 weeks at any point. You can, whatever, however you want to handle it. And I do get that. Also, it's like when you're doing it on a regular basis, it's like you have the safety net is there. It's not like, oh, actually I'm good now and I don't need this anymore. It's like, it's meant to be for an extended period of time, at least, if not, like maybe not with the same person for the rest of your life, but it's like you're meant to be, you're meant to spend time on it. It's supposed to be
on your progress.
Yeah, it's a resource, that you have access to, and I feel like I definitely I was coming up with, I caught myself in like the thinking about like therapy coming up and like looking forward to it and like thinking about like what am I gonna be like, what do I want to bring up, what do I want to talk about, stuff like that, and then and some days it was like, I could cancel this week because I really like, it's not going to be anything different that I'm going to bring up than last week. It's not going to be, like I'm doing okay. It's just, there's some work stress and some other stuff. And it's like, yeah, you get through that. It's the season for it. And it's like, it's not a new thing. I'm not dealing with anything in particularly I feel I'm struggling with at all. If your intro, what's the word? Where you look inside.
Introspective.
Yeah, introspective. If you can like, really feel comfortable with what you see in there, then, I get it for sure. But I also understand what you're saying about like, there's I'm not stopping therapy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I joke about, I'm cured, but I know that that's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel fine though. I feel good right now. So
good. Yeah. Any honorable mentions?
Jack shit. How have you been?
Okay. I've been going through it a little bit too.
That's what happened is I gave you all of my mental illness.
It's osmosis. I recently stepped down my medication, which was planned and with the help of a medical professional. I've been on while using and then being sober, using like subs or opiate blocker shit. I've been on opiates since I was 16, 17. So it's like 17 years. And I'd say 10 of it's been on subs, and this time sober's like 6 years. But the plan is to get off, and I'm working on it. But going down, it's always fine. For me, it's fine until I get to a really low dose of subs. And so I recently stepped down, and I'm like getting near the low point, but I'm not there yet. So for me, it's easy. I don't feel like withdrawal and stuff. And I feel like the doctors don't really understand. But for me, opiates are the most effective antidepressant, a step above things that stimulate, like caffeine. Caffeine's like the next best thing. But for me, I feel like opiates, because of being a major depressive, it like actually helps emotionally to a substantial degree. So I feel fine, like from a withdrawal standpoint or like a fiending point of view, but I emotionally like always kind of get crushed, even off a like small dosage change. And it took me like a week into it to kind of realize, I think, what was happening. And I think that's it, which is both good and kind of scary, because I don't like how much it affects me. And I also think there's a world where like I could be completely off, and I've done it for a year or two before, and my like chemical depression was like, I think, about as bad as it ever was. So I don't really know what to do long term, but it's still progress, and I know I'll figure it out, but it is such a pain in the fucking ass.
Now, I don't know.
The chemical chains, bro.
I don't think your brain works in this way. Like, my brain works in the way that, like, I can set my watch 5 minutes fast, and I know that it's 5 minutes fast, but it works for me to typically either get things done early or get things done faster, or like be places a little early. I'm typically like that anyways, but like I feel it's beneficial to me, even though I know that I'm the one who set my watch 5 minutes faster. It just works.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, I feel like there are some people who may benefit from like substitution of, you know, maybe it's just a fucking, you know, a placebo thing, or like a vitamin something, or some other, you know,
candy,
one of the homeopathic, you know, they have those like something or other, but like where it's like not going to really do anything for you, but like if you take it with the idea of like, okay, I've lowered my dosage of this, but I'm taking this and now I'm adding also this thing, that maybe it kind of makes up the, you know, like I'm not trying to say that like what you're experiencing is like psychological. But there is the element of some people are able to kind of psychologically, like not recoup, that's not the word I'm looking for, but like make up for the difference in that.
I know what you mean.
Like, do you think there's any particular way that might be beneficial to you at all?
If I'm totally honest, I would say no, outside of a short term. Like it's a kind of,
I can see that
in like AA. It's like tons of people end up developing diabetes when they get sober, because they develop candy addictions to help like satiate cravings. I've gone through it enough time. I'm not worried about short term, like hard times or whatever. My worry is chronic, in the sense I've existed without any opiates at all, any medications, like getting high, like anything, for a couple years at a time. And I've gone through all the different various stages of withdrawal, precipitated withdrawal. I feel my absolute near worst, it's not the worst, but just about as bad as it gets off of everything completely. Where for most people, I think with less severe depression and stuff, if they finally get sober, like everything eases up a lot. And I truly feel like, for me, the opiates offer a ton of antidepressant properties. Like just simply from the, even like my medication doesn't alter me or get me intoxicated at all. But I feel like for a highly depressed brain, the same receptors it's hitting makes me feel like the way a person who responds well to antidepressants does. Where I've never had any luck with SSRIs, and I feel slightly vindicated that the latest research is that over 50% of them offer no effect. And on the overall, SSRIs have been mostly a negative. And I don't want that to like manipulate people into not trying, because there's still tons of people it works well for. But for me, it has never been helpful. And opiates have been like the only thing that's ever chemically lifted depression for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get like, it like sucks, because it's like I don't know if I'm making progress to a future I want to be in.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
fair. Yeah.
But I know what to do, because I've been through it. I just got to take it real slow and hope it's a little bit different this time. And if it's not, figure out a different plan. But it's just still frustrating. But that's okay. I had honorable mentions.
Oh yeah. I got nothing. What do you got?
I'll be quick. I saw 28 Years Later. Did you watch the first ones?
Yeah, it's been a long time though. How was that?
Same. I am not like a monster horror movie kind of person. I don't really care about zombies, although I will like say 28 Days Later and whatever. For the time they came out, were pretty like cutting edge in like changing the genre, and had a lot of really cool artistic qualities, like art house-ish aspects. And 28 Years Later, I would say, was equally as bound, like border breaking, and it was way more abstract and artsy than any other mainstream horror movie I've seen in a long time.
Good.
It did things really cool at points, and it had some of the most beautiful moments I've seen in a film recently. Like, to the point where I would have put it like crazy high marks, like surprisingly. And dude, if you watch it, there is one 1-minute section of the movie that bumps down my overall rating by like 5 points.
Oh no.
Like, it's in my top 5 worst film moments by far. Where I was like so close to leaving the theater and like praising it, to going to like, I don't think I've been more frustrated by a film or movie than this in a long time. It was so frustrating. It's worth a watch though. It's interesting.
Yeah. Don't tell me any more about it. I will watch it, and I will see if I can.
You'll know
spot the moment.
There will be no question. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, I'm watching. I watched some of it, but it's been a long time. I'm finally watching Mr. Robot again. And,
yeah.
I'm thoroughly re-impressed. I do really like it, and then I've been rereading a little bit, finally chipping away at the Sam Harris book, and reread part of the Satanist Bible just for goofs. But
nice.
Yeah, that's it on my end. I just had boy dinner right before we started.
What did that consist of today?
I had a white monster and a Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate bar.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
pretty good.
That's dinner right there. We got really stupid breakfast today. I had to go to Costco with my niece. I didn't have to go with her. She came with me to help.
Gotcha. She forced you at gunpoint to go to Costco.
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. Nailed it. So here's a fun story for you. So when you go to a Costco or a Sam's or one of those, they have coffee grinders, because you're buying like the big bags of like coffee or whatever. They have coffee grinders at the front of the store, and after you buy it, you can go up and you can grind the coffee in the coffee grinders. And we do this for work. We buy it from Costco and go up to the front, and usually it's like 3 or 4 bags at a time. Sometimes it's a lot more. We'll do like 10.
So they trick you into doing free labor. essentially.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So last week, someone, as we went up to the front to grind the coffee, someone had put a bag of almonds into the coffee grinder.
It's a smart man right there.
And I assume they were thinking like, oh, I'll get almond flour out of this.
Obviously.
I guess. And, but of course it destroyed the machine.
Hell yeah.
So
fuck Costco.
While we're waiting for a replacement for that location, we have to buy our coffee and grind it at another location.
That's funny.
So we had 10 bags of coffee that still, we're going in and checking, like, do they have a new one yet? Do they have a new one yet? And then they don't. So I had to grind 10 bags of coffee today, and then buy all of the produce we need for service. And while we were there, I didn't have coffee this morning. I'm just fresh out of like brewed coffee. So we were walking by the Costco thing and they don't have coffee. What they do have is something called it's like cold brew mocha freeze or some shit. It looked like ice cream with coffee in it. And I was like,
hell yeah.
Sounds good to me. And says, we can bleep her name out.
Yeah.
So we could just cut that whole little thing. So it was like, sounds good to me. And we decided to get 2 of those and 2 cookies because I'd never had the Costco cookie before and she hadn't had it before. And we're like, oh, everyone's going ham about these on the internet. Everyone loves these things. The cookie was not good. And the ice cream coffee thing was mostly just ice cream. And like, while it didn't taste bad, I was hoping for more. The picture, it looked like it has a lot more coffee in it. So I was a little upset by that. But I just had sugar for breakfast.
Oh yeah. Like the alien from Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. Just hand me the sugar.
Dude, I wish we could. We need drugs that supercharge our kidneys to expel sugar so we don't have to all die from diabetes from eating too much sugar. I want to exist like a fly who just drinks sugar syrup all day. That is the goal. Bro, I just want to do...
Just sipping Kool-Aid all day long. Just a thick, syrupy Kool-Aid.
Dude, there's all these new drugs for... SARS or SARMs, right? SARMs. The steroids.
No, I don't know that.
They're steroids that are research chemicals that don't work the way previous steroids work. And some of them have very specific benefits and cons. But there's very specific and different things you can do with them, and some of them are far more effective than older steroids. But, we've talked about the CRISPR gene editing. The point is there's a ton of new drugs that the bodybuilding and body modification communities are kind of like self-researching. And some of these drugs, and they're all like crazy names, like R14777, and you buy from like crazy research chemical websites and shit.
Cool.
But the communities are cool because everybody's like updating it's not the best research, but it's like communities of people uploading their own tests and data and shit. But we're on the cusp of, just like Ozempic, like having actual weight loss drugs that work. Well, there are still kinks to get ironed out, but there are new drugs on the way where like 5-10 years from now, you could just take a pill every day and gain 5 to 10 pounds of muscle a year with very minimal downsides. My point being, we just need better medical research to armor our organs so we can handle heavier duty drugs. Because there's a future where like we'll have like biological conservatism where politics will start being projected on gene editing and like body modification shit. Like if you could have a baby, like you're a Nazi guy and you want all your babies to have blonde hair and blue eyes, or like you're a guy who you want your kid to have the genes to grow muscle easier and shit. Where like people are gonna be able to make these decisions, and the conservative people are going to be the ones who like decide not to modify or like use the drugs or change their genes and shit. It's going to be really interesting how these things play out. I don't know. I get excited about new drugs. I think that's so cool.
You know, I think they'll be against it until someone makes the argument that you can make stronger warriors for God.
Until you can have all your Hitler Youth children.
Yeah, exactly.
Their eyes have American flags designed.
Yeah, boy.
God damn it. It's funny.
It'd be pretty sick.
God damn it. All right, what are we talking about today?
Give that baby a gun. We'll get him elected as president.
Born with guns for hands. And a speaker in their back that plays the national anthem wherever they go.
24/7. He plays it every hour like a clock.
All right, you got anything? I got a couple things we could fuck with, but is there anything on your mind or you're thinking about?
No, I'm brain dead.
All right. I'll start with a problem, and then we can have the debate I gave you notice on. I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, here's my problem. I've talked about this before, and it was bothering me a lot when I was chemically crushed last week. Here's I think the biggest problem I keep going back to in my head, okay?
Okay.
I don't... All right. In relationships, romantic, friendly, whatever.
Yeah.
It is most healthy to want to be together or to want to be friends, right?
Yes.
Like needy relationships or needing your partner, that shit's bad or tends to be unhealthy, right?
Want is the preferred.
In theory, that should be more powerful. The like we don't need each other, but we want to be together type of thing.
Right.
I know that to be true, but I do not feel that. So my problem is I don't want. All right, no one in my life needs me. Okay. I have, people that want me around.
Right.
But no one truly needs me. And in the past, there were a lot of people that needed me. Even if it was for their vices or for stability or for rent money, whatever. Like a lot of people needed me to like not fuck up all day and like guarantee them something they needed. No one in my life needs me, and I've like very much worked hard and like tried to get to the point where I don't need anyone. And I feel like the last couple years of like both being sober and like steady work, like since starting medical coding, I like finally don't need anyone. I don't even need to leave my house anymore, and no one needs me. And it's like good. And I should feel, I think, a lot more satisfied in my relationships. And I do not feel that way, dude. I want, as like harmful or whatever as it is, I want mutual need. And I can't get what I want from everyone. So I have to get things I want from different people. It's like parting out your like social needs to a handful of people you want instead of having like that mutual need shit.
Yeah.
Is this making sense?
It is making sense. I mean, but it sounds incredibly normal.
Okay.
Not so much the need part. I think there is a do you feel like it may stem from a sense of purpose? The need for need?
Maybe. I feel like the true answer, which is a lot more boring, is that need and mutual need is far more stimulating, even if it is like bad stimulus.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I'm not getting even if most of the things are bad.
You need a little. You're saying that you're craving more toxicity,
or just like adrenaline and intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Even if most of the things were bad, every week of my life for a long time, there was like a lot of high intensity shit, and it's like everything's like coasting smoothly, and I still really much want the intense or chaotic parts of like needing things or needing people or people needing me.
I think
this feels far more pointless in a way, you know?
Yeah, the idea seems more exciting, but I think when you consider that's need is not a thing you can turn off in a clean way.
Agreed.
So if someone needs you and then you get your satisfaction out of it, you can't turn that off without it being
ugly.
Yeah. Like for that person and then for you by either association or, you know, your empathy, what have you, depending on what it is that they need from you. It's not that I don't understand that, you know, what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But
it doesn't really make sense though, right?
Yeah. But it's not that it doesn't make sense either, because I feel like especially what I know about you, you know, you said the adrenaline. There's an excitement. Yeah. It's not really passion, but it's there's a passionate, you know, there's more of it's the need. It's an urge. It's more of rather than want, while it is much healthier and balanced, much longer lasting and stable, there's not as much of an excitement to it when you consider it in that fashion. I might argue that it's more exciting when you consider the alternative of no one needing you versus no one wanting you. Suddenly, I feel like the want becomes more necessary.
Yeah. I feel like the issue I keep like revisiting is that you can't, at least I don't really truly know how to change what you want. Where like, even if I continue to make like what is like better decisions, if my wants don't really change, it's like you're still always like fighting part of yourself to make things work or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's way above my my therapist pay grade.
I think the issue that I get the most like bitter about though is I can't get all those things from people. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no, you can't. And then, you know, even if you could, it's not lasting.
Which bothers me, because when I look back on people in my life, like on a small timeline, a lot of it worked out like really, really well. Or there wasn't, things didn't crash and burn to the point where you're like, oh, this couldn't have continued. But I still feel like a lot of people in my life like really fucked me over. And if it all feels like so unnecessary. Like when I look back at people in my life, I'm like, why did things get to that point? Or like, why did we bail here? Or like, what was so like I don't know. Like, why didn't things work out differently? I think a lot, like the wheels fall off for other people more often than they fall off for me, where I'm kind of willing to like keep it moving together. Yeah, in friendships too. I'm not just talking about like partners or whatever.
I know what you mean on that. I have gone through most of my life feeling that way of like, I have found so many moments of like undependableness in people.
Yeah.
Of like where I give so much grace for that to everyone else, but not to myself. Because I feel like if no one else is going to be that person who's dependable, I have to be that, at least for myself. Like it makes me, has made me feel in the way of like not fully turning away from, you know, like not asking for help kind of thing, but like I just know that I can't always like, and I do extend of like, I trust people to do the things that they say they're going to do almost all the time.
But you've had to be like really stable and dependable because of those situational things with people.
Right.
Yeah.
I at least have to be able to do the things that I say I'm going to do for me. And I've also been better about like through that. And of course, what that also means is saying like, if you can't do a thing, if you're like, it's not a thing that you can do, saying no, I can't do that. And I don't want you to expect me to do that. The toxic part for that is that when you feel like, but I should be able to, and saying, well, maybe I could, maybe I can, and then you overextend yourself. And that's part of the thing I deal with. But I understand from that perspective of feeling like other people's tolerance for like, I can't extend myself that far out to you anymore. Like I can extend myself a certain amount to help you,
bro,
but I'm not willing to, you know, continuously hold this hand out for you.
All right. So now I feel similar where like I will not lift a finger unless you're one of the few people I want. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're one of the people I want, which I was like, used to be way more open to, there was no limit to my extension to people. Like I have and would have taken like a lot of really dumb risk for people that I would have anticipated they would have done the same. Right. And I feel very jaded by the lack of extension of others. Yeah.
I mean, part of it is, unfortunately, part of it is just coming to terms that like, that's abnormal. What's normal is having boundaries for yourself that are much shorter than what what you feel is normal to extend.
But boundaries are so boring.
I know. And I 100% agree. I feel like there's the feeling of being, needed in a way, but it's, being the person that is always there, always dependable, is gonna get the thing done, is going to be there to help you no matter what. It yields a
stable crop.
Yeah.
A farmer lifestyle.
Yeah. It also, it yields a sense of like pride, for yourself. 'Cause that you've gone beyond what other people were willing to do. You are the one who stood up. You are you made this possible and you made it happen when other people would not make themselves available to do a thing. So there's a sense of pride that comes with that. And I feel like that's kind of what that's attached to, at least in my case, where I feel like I just had to accept that it's just not normal for people to extend themselves that way. And there are people that do, obviously, in our case, but, and it's not going to be in everything either. Like, I know I definitely fall short on, extending myself maybe for certain things rather than, like work related things. I definitely extend myself a lot more on, and I might have shortcomings then in personal relationships where I don't even consider that. I don't acknowledge or recognize that I'm not extending as much as I could.
You know what my dream world would be?
What's that?
I want to be able to open my phone, scroll through my contact lists, and call any number in my phone at random, and know that whoever picks up is willing to hide a body for me. That's my ideal world, and I want them to know I would do the same. That is a perfect world. I want to be able to like violently smash into people or like fuck each other till we mutate into monsters that were so messily entwined that our fates are intertwined. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know it's all trash, but it's like what I want.
I know. I think I know what you mean. I would like to reiterate. I think my that's above my therapist pay grade.
Nah, you're qualified.
Oh, I'm hereby qualified. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. Do you think that plays on, like I said, like I think for me, it's pride that I think that plays on. That's just a baser
pride
thing
sucks.
it does. But I
say pridefully.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big pain in the ass, but, I feed into it.
I like Satanist theory of the balance, the duality of balancing things like gluttony and pride, but my preference is always going to be 60-40 to gluttony, where I want that self-pride, but I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of it to overindulge with another,
Yeah.
But we can't change our wants. All right. Here's the question. Here's the real question. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I need to know your ethical defense of peeping toms. I propose there is nothing morally wrong with a peeping tom as long as they don't get caught. Mm-hmm. Let me hear your argument. Let me hear this defense lawyer.
The problem you've put forth before me, and I will give you the credit this time. Most of the time you spring shit like this on me without any consideration, and I have to just like
it's true.
channel this. Now, to be fair,
I gave you 24 hours.
You've given me almost.
A good lawyer can do a lot with 24 hours.
And I was asleep for part of that, and I was at work for the other part of that.
Sure.
So those are I'm gonna give that, but you've still given me more notice than usual.
Yeah. Polite of me.
The problem here is that let me extrapolate a little bit here.
Please.
So, what is being a peeping Tom?
Well, there's a wide range of activities.
So what I'm saying exactly. So, let's say you're just people watching at in the parking lot.
I'll do you a favor
somewhere.
here. We'll up the ante. Yes, it can entail a wide range of activities, but we're going to dial it into something sexually deviant or a perversion of some sort. You're invading someone's privacy in a sexual realm, but they don't know. Is it bad?
Yeah, the classic is, I think when people say peeping Tom, I think immediately people think to like someone looking into your windows.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot to introduce this topic. All right, the reason I was thinking about this, I'd say about once a year I watch the movie The Rearview Window.
Oh yeah, cool. Hitchcock. Yeah, we watched it. We reviewed it on the show.
Holy shit! I forgot it. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's funny. The next thing I have for us to talk about is amnesia, because I've been forgetting a lot of shit lately. But so I had my yearly rewatch. I think the reason the ending has some problems, but I rewatch it about once a year because I think it was the first movie that ever got me into movies that felt like pieces of art and like fell into the films category for me.
Yeah.
Where I had very limited exposure to cool shit, cool art as a kid. And my parents, I think, got the movie. It's like an old-timey movie. Like as a kid, I was like, oh, this will be stupid as fuck. And I think it was the first movie that I saw in my naive world where I was like, it captured
they
my
really did
imagination.
something here.
Yeah, I was like, this is I loved it, and it's like every year or so I rewatch it, and I was rewatching it, and as we know, the main character is being a peeping Tom, veering into people's lives because he has a broken leg, and by chance he stumbles across a crime, a murder of sorts, and it ends up playing out however it plays out, but. The question is, he's peeping on other people also, and if you were in his shoes, being sexually deviant, and the person never knows, we all intuitively feel it's wrong. Like privacy has been invaded. We don't like when the government listens to phone calls or steals our data and shit. But what is the actual principle being violated? Because it's not that I don't think it's wrong, but it's like the incest argument. It's like really hard to argue of like, why is this actually wrong?
You said I think the prime piece is if no one is aware, if you've not been caught, the point being that you feel the feeling of feeling violated only comes.
Not felt.
It's not felt until you're aware that
it happened.
Someone has seen, someone's seen you in a vulnerable position or like in your private moments when you felt that you were alone. And that you're right. It makes it a very hard. It's one of those like, and I hate it, but it's like it's one of those like I don't know how to define how it's wrong, but like there's something off. There's like there's intention involved. There's so many different factors of like it was saying of when I was getting to of like if you're people watching like at the park or at a, you're sitting in your car scrolling through your phone or whatever, and just happen to, watching people being people, that's like being goofy or weird. Like that's innocent on its own face value. It's just a normal thing that we all do. If the intention changes, it doesn't necessarily make it wrong, but it adds a weight, a moral weight to it that you would feel as the person doing it. If you feel like, hey, this is suspicious and I need to be hidden, then you would know that there is a...
No, disagree. That's assuming they feel guilt for what they've done. The reason to not be caught is so it's not known, so you can continue doing it. The person that's doing it would more likely think that way than...
So even as I was saying it, I realized part of the reason I don't like the like you can't be on your phone in the car thing. Like you can get a ticket for using your phone while you're behind the wheel of a car. Period.
They just started doing that in Ohio. It just started.
So the problem with that is what it means is people are trying to hide their use of their phone. It doesn't stop them from doing it. It makes them
more crashes.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're
Google
keeping
Maps.
it lower and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid as fuck. Outdated laws. So here's kind of my thought. It's intuitively wrong, right?
Sure.
Like, we tend to feel that way. Maybe psychopaths or edgy people don't feel that way initially. Here's where the closest thing I can compare it to is I think of it kind of like cheating. Yeah. When you cheat on a partner, as long as the two worlds don't intersect or affect each other at some point, you haven't hurt the person until they know about it. Now, like we said, intuitively, most people will still feel guilty. Some people won't, and those tend to be shitty people or whatever, but some people won't. But so many people end up being like overcome by guilt and eventually tell their partner, and it inevitably hurts them, right?
Yeah. Or, it's like they feel guilt, or because of the cheating, they end up losing feeling for and like it ends up becoming mixed somehow.
Yeah. I think the appropriate punishment for the cheater when they want to tell their partner is, I think they have to swallow that, and their punishment is living with it, opposed to telling. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting because what that means is, ideally, you're sparing the other person the humiliation and the feeling that they were cheated on.
And pain. And instead, you're having to, assuming you're the type of person who feels that guilt and did want to tell them, I feel like instead of making them experience that, you're meant to like double down and just fucking live with it. Now, if you're the type of person who doesn't feel that want to release it and tell them, there's probably a more appropriate answer. And all of this is still under assumptions of like no STDs or like other factors that eventually would betray or inform the person. But if you were like overcome by guilt and you know for sure or reasonably sure the person will never find out, I think to an extent, the want to tell them ultimately only like guarantees their hurt, and you're probably meant to like live with it yourself and adjust your actions even if you still decide like I betrayed them to an extent, they deserve better, now I need to like not tell them and still make sure this relationship's over, whatever the math is.
That's what the thing that kind of that gives me pause in any way is it's like, okay,
yeah, you don't want to betray their future trust.
Right. And there's a way of, rephrasing this argument into if you cheat, you should just get away with it. And
that's where we're getting to the peeping Tom.
And escape punishment.
Yes, to some extent.
So the argument being like in a relationship, it should, I mean, you would think it would at least give you pause as to like, why did I do this? If like, why am I continuing this relationship? Like, is this something that you're going to repeat? Is this something that you're going to, until, do things until it becomes apparent, or do things until it affects your relationship negatively, with that person, even if it's not directly, it's like you're now spending less time with that person to spend time with this other person. There are other factors of like you are affecting the other person's life, whether they recognize it or not. Or you're affecting your time in their life, your, person in their life.
Most likely. I think generally like addictions or perversions are things that affect your life had they not been there. Like that's often like one of the defining characteristics of like having a problem or perversion or whatever. To make the argument more difficult, let's say we attribute this only to activity that happens when your partner is asleep, they never know, and you weren't going to be doing anything else in that time except playing video games. If we dial it into that degree, it makes it harder to argue, where I feel like there's conflicting things. So one of the... Here I have like one decent argument against, and then I'm also willing to bite a pretty hard bullet that I think most people don't want to. My argument against would typically be it's often used in like old serial killer logic kind of stuff, where the problem isn't necessarily the activity in and of itself, it's the issues of what engaging in that behavior tend to bring out of a person. Where the issue isn't necessarily that the person was a peeping Tom that didn't get caught. It's more like pedophile shit. It's like, well, this often leads to escalated behavior. Yeah. Like how many people are going to do that and end it there,
Yeah, it's like, what else can I get away with?
Yeah, or just the lust or whatever infatuation tends to build. Or you probably wouldn't have kept engaging it to that extent anyway. Now, on the other hand, there are non-offending pedophiles. There are, I would assume, peeping Toms that never, like, cross certain border, whatever. Like, we can think of examples.
Yeah.
I think the hard bullet to bite, just like incest arguments or whatever, is that I don't, a peeping Tom who's never caught, I don't necessarily think it's wrong.
It's at least like
none of this matters.
You can't.
I don't think anything matters.
It's like to punish, someone. It has to be known that they did a thing.
The harm has to exist.
Yeah, the harm has to exist for for that to. I think there is the argument to be made that,
because then they're just harming themselves. If somebody wants to harm their own psyche, but they're not harming the other because they were never caught in a way that affected them. Like, we're all generally okay with people being suicidal to some extent. If they want to self-harm and destroy their own psyche, have at it.
Yeah.
I think
they think there's an argument.
It's a victimless crime.
I mean, by our own definition, I think there is, I think the point that people are going to bring up is that there is a point of expectation of privacy. Within your,
Like if our webcams were on right now and people were watching, but we never knew. If we later found out, we would feel very violated. And I would say that's that's reasonable. But if we never found out,
this is a tree falls in the woods scenario.
It is a pervert trips in the mall, or stumbles in the bushes scenario.
So he stumbles in the bushes, and you hear it, and then they're just a raccoon.
They were gone.
It's fine.
Yeah,
and they're gone. Yeah, boy, that's
nothing.
I don't, and it's troubling. There is a troubling kind of bit to that where it's like, man, good. Yes. There's a troubling bit to it because it's you want people who do that to you and other people to be punished, but you cannot punish them if they are not caught. And if they are,
legally, you still can.
Well, sure. Yeah. Like, if they confess to it later, but then, we'll be getting caught then, right?
You're right. I guess I meant to say legally, it doesn't make it any of it legal, but.
Correct. Yeah.
Crime. There's no punishable offense unless they were guilty.
You're not stealing something from someone. You're not.
Yeah.
Harming them physically or emotionally in any way if they don't know about it.
God, what I was gonna build up to was maybe your intuitions were just wrong. but also there's one step farther where it could be pretty graphic of like, what if you harm someone who's unconscious? There's it's the same argument, but it's a step farther. And I think people still like intuitively feel the same thing, and I think they still struggle to defend it. But they're I think that is something that's a lot easier to defend because there are physical repercussions, even if you don't remember them.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're still harming a person. There, someone's unconscious. You break their ribs, or you punch them. Like there's still a bruise left. They're still sore. Whatever.
But I feel like the Peeping Toms, it's a harder. I feel like it draws in a question of like, what is real or not? What is right and wrong? What does it matter?
That's subjective, right? There's a subjectivity to that. That is
tying it into the Batman.
Yeah. Tying it all together.
Yeah, dude. I think this will come out before our what it is to be a bat. I will say, I reread the paper today and reread a little, like some critiques and like analysis, and I feel much more confident going in for the second half. Although I really do hate how these things are written. It's just so.
It's all the word fluff and preface.
Yeah. I don't know.
We can keep going, or we are past our the time that we are planning on. Can always. I mean, do you want a quick run through Alligator Alcatraz?
Oh man,
is there a quick way to expedite that?
My only thoughts on it were
that we're building internment camps and
See, the thing is, though, is over a year ago we talked about this, and we both agreed we saw it coming. It's like,
oh, for sure.
The thing is, it's so like cartoonishly villainous that I think a lot of Republicans don't like it. Apparently, right now, immigration, like polling towards like better immigration policy, is at the highest it's ever been. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not going over well, but the extremists are all in, and it will continue, and it will get a lot worse. There was just new legislation. A lot more people are going to be facing potential deportations. It's going to get really bad. I feel like a little bit, not that my like political engagement is like done or that I'm not gonna keep up or whatever, but I do feel like for me we've already crossed so many bright red lines, but this truly feels like one for me where it's to the point I'm becoming uninterested. It's gone so far that it feels like it just feels cartoonish. Like, it just feels like it's hard to even respect the plight of the country at this point anymore.
Yeah.
Where, it's
absolutely.
Just, to the point, I just am losing interest. It's not that I want to change whatever level of resistance I'm willing to offer, but I'm almost a lot less drawn into the drama or like interest of the daily stories coming out, because we've just gone to a point where it's just far too far.
It's been allowed to go way beyond where it ever should have gone.
Yeah.
And now there's no one to fucking really do anything about it. There's not enough. I mean, even if you're like, I think 10 years ago you could have, made the vote, call your congressperson. And it's like, that doesn't fucking mean anything anymore.
It still can be relatively effective, but where the state of our country is, and it's in a state, DeSantis is all on. Yeah, there's nothing the average American can do to stop this from currently happening in the state of Florida at the moment, and we're one big storm away from watching everyone drowned in these cages and be eaten by gators. I mean, it's just all like, it's just so preposterous. It's made it a lot, and this was inevitable, but it's made it a lot harder for me to want to be engaged in what happens anymore, which is like the opposite of what like an activist would want or whatever. But
of course, there's it's fatigue. You see.
I guess I didn't think of it that way, but you're probably right.
It's just, there's so much of it happening, and you're like, what good does it do for me to become like stressed by this? And like, if there's nothing actionable I can do right now, and even if there is, it becomes so overburdensome.
Or is this even a country I want to fight for type shit?
Exactly. Like what's even the point?
On the other hand,
for this anymore.
What's his name? I hate when other people intentionally mispronounce politicians' names or whatever to like throw shade. But what's his name? Zoran, the New York City socialist.
Yeah. Is it Mamdani?
I think so. I don't like him either. Don't care for him. He would get my vote 1,000 out of 1,000 times, though.
Right.
Without question. And
I would consider committing voting fraud to vote twice.
It's just, things are just so far out of hand. It is, I say this, and it is kind of interesting still. It's just so, maybe I'm facing a bit of fatigue on it too, though.
I mean, that's what I get, where it's just like, I can't, and honestly, just taking a couple of days to like not, turn off your YouTube notifications for a couple of days and it.
Dude, here's a thought I had recently. First off, if you have YouTube notifications on, you're an insane person. Like, what quality of life are you thinking where you want your phone to update you about YouTube shit? First off. Second of all, I thought about all the people that are doing well or I like in my life. Not a single one of them, myself included, I'll say, post anything on the internet about their personal lives. Like like we do a podcast, right? Where it's probably more personal, but like we're like just posting it, and like,
but no one listens to it.
Yeah, well, even if they were, I'm talking about the like people that post like selfies or like statuses. Like I looked on our Facebook, dude. It's just like 4,000 of the most like degenerate, like poor mental health, like wacky people oversharing about every dumb thing they think about and just like putting on full display how fucked their life is hour by hour. It's just, I don't know anyone in real life that does that. That is okay.
No, 100%. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, it is wild to me to think.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
People are wild.
The best argument I can make is for people who are like, I was like, if you have a business,
call for help.
Yeah, if you have like a business or something, but like that's a business
different.
thing. That's different. Yeah.
I'm not joking though. Like people, like when I was like younger, I definitely did a lot of the same cringe shit. And like looking back, I feel like a ton of it was a call for help. And I think a lot of people are doing that. And I feel like there's room for a lot of empathy there. But it's like a cesspool. Like it's just like a gallery of sick people.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to see the last time I posted anything on social media.
Scroll through your homepage right now, dude. I know you got rid of people, so maybe you don't have
Facebook. I think I got rid of everybody who wasn't immediate family or not.
Go
not
on our
Facebook.
Like, holy shit, dude! It's just randoms, and it is like it's just wild.
I think the last time I posted anything other than a picture of my cat, like both of the last things from 2022, and then. The one before that was a year before it. And then the last thing I posted was 2021 when people were still like COVID gun shy and whatever. And it's not even like, here's a selfie. It's like, here's a bunch of food I just made.
That's different though.
I feel like that's the most.
Yeah. Last
time I took a selfie, here it is. March 16th of 2021. That was I think that was after I haven't gotten a good picture of myself in forever. Like I don't think there's any other pictures there's no other pictures of me on here. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why people do it on such a regular basis.
Yeah.
Here's what I had for breakfast today. Here's what I'm doing tonight, and it's like I don't understand it.
No, dude. I was gonna say
I've never once.
They actually are studying it. Like there's so much research into how this shit like changes you, and it seems
don't
substantial.
I've never once and never met anyone who has checked online to see what their friends were up to, see what people, their family was up to. It's like, I can text you. I can call you.
It's a weird world, man.
It really is. It's really crazy.
A mad world.
I mean, for that matter, even people who do like, try to get into making like content online. It's like I will consume this content, some of it, but like more specifically, I guess when people are trying to make like viral content, like they're trying to do something because like other people are doing it.
Yeah,
it's like that drives me nuts. I'm like, I can't imagine doing something because someone else
so
did
desperate.
Someone else made a video of them doing this, and now you're doing this, and like for what? For the views. You want to be perceived by more people who are going to look at you and then doing this thing, and then what? What's the ideal outcome? Is they follow you so that you can hopefully do more of the thing that everyone else is doing,
do more dances and
and then what? So like, and then they're, I don't. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I think in general, like, as a society, as a culture, whatever, we've really, like, decided we don't care about privacy anymore. Like,
yeah.
You know, my little brother, Approaching Human, who does art, music and shit, he works in AI, and I don't want to identify more than that, but he was on, like, a radio show. And he did great. He was on, like, doing this little talk thing with other people. And I just couldn't get over the thought that, you know, despite his best efforts, the whole conversation, the whole dialogue is 5 years behind. Like, people don't understand. We forfeited our privacy a long time ago. Bitcoin, you know, VPNs, people think this shit is like, you know, things are, privacy is so fucked, but at least we have tools to, you know, guarantee anonymity, whatever. Bitcoin's going to be a permanent ledger for the FBI to track every, you know, dark sale ever made online. VPNs are still trackable. All these blockchains are going to be like digital crime receipts. And even without those tools, you have no guarantee of any privacy and security. Your data's bought and sold and repackaged and purposed to different groups all over the world to try to influence you in subtle ways. And I'm not like one of those people that's like overly worried about it, because I feel like shit, even that I would prefer be hidden, there's just such a sea of over collected data that to some extent, you don't really have to worry unless you're doing like pretty fucked up shit. Not that I think it's okay for it to be this way, but also it's just it only affects you as much as you let it, to some extent. Like, there's very good evidence, if it hasn't already begun, it will more and more, that you know, you're on a Spotify account and they know, but via your GPS coordinates, you drive this way to work every day, and you like McDonald's at this time of day, you're going to start getting ads for that. Like, things are very targeted to influence you in subtle, invisible ways. And I think it does influence a lot of people, but it's still ultimately within our realm of control. Of like, how much do we want to be influenced by these things? Not that I think it's good or acceptable, but we've kind of chosen this is the world we want to be in. Like, unironically, the pizza place up the street from me, I tend to get every Tuesday because Sarah's like gone for the night on Tuesdays most nights, and literally every Monday and then Tuesday morning, I tend to get ads from the place. And it's like clockwork, where you're like, this is like, it feels surreal. And I think I would be bothered by it more if I knew that's already what I wasn't going to do, or if it was affecting me in a way I didn't want it to. But
right.
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
Sometimes they send you coupons and discount deals, and
just gotta scam
you were gonna order pizza anyway. You might as well
get a deal. Yeah.
Now they for sure know that the ads are working. They know you're seeing them,
which means I can get more ads for cheaper pizza.
Yeah.
So when you want things, just look them up a lot.
Infinite pizza loop.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to be paying you for the pizza.
That's what you got to do is just keep glitching out the Google Matrix. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I think that's good enough. We went way over the expectation, and that's good. We did more. You get value for your podcast money here.
Overtime.
Thanks again for listening, everyone. Thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human.
Thanks, John. I hope you can save the whole world from bad AI.
Fuck yeah.
If you're super bored, you can check out my trashy art on Instagram at Skyzix, SKYZXX. Nothing new. Very, very slow, but always still working. We have social media pages. That's it.
We do have social media, but we just spent the last few minutes shit talking social media and all the people that we follow on social media.
That's okay. Let us peeping Tom into your life by following us.
Yeah, there you go. Do that.
we're still looking for 11 reviews on Spotify. Come on, guys. We need one more to hit lucky number 11. Come on, guys, please. Somebody help us out.
It's been like 4.5 years.
Appreciate you guys, whoever's listening.
Oh, goddamn.
Hope you guys have a good night.
That's going to be all for us today. Stay classy, eat trashy.
Go fast, eat trash.
Yeah, I'm legally required to listen to this podcast until I reach my destination.